Mark Gilman, along with Western Oregon head football coach Arne Ferguson. And, Coach, tough ball game this past weekend down in Southern California, a nationally ranked team, and you guys put it all out there on the line, came up just 1 point short. Talk about that game from your perspective at Azusa Pacific.
Yeah, our players played a very gutsy game, a very determined game, a very physical game against an opponent that was number 5 in our region. The top 6 go to playoffs, and they're 24th in the nation. So definitely, the only loss they've had is the Humboldt, and then they revenged that loss at their place by 30 points, I believe, 55 to 20-something. So we definitely knew that they're very good at home, especially. It was nice weather, good turf. Our players really played all the way to the very end. And to give you an idea, we could have had 2 or 3 plays just go our way, and different outcome we feel. But our players, for example, the second half defense did a really nice job against a running back that's number 1 in the nation, I believe, in overall yards, over 200 yards. And he came in the middle, everything stuffed, and then found a way to get to the outside, and then all of a sudden pops up the sideline for an 80-yard gain for a touchdown. And then our offense comes with a ball with 2 minutes left and moves the ball, even on third down. We had a player open, hit his hands, but he ran into the ref, nobody around. We felt at least it got down to the 10. But our field goal unit came in with around a 40-yarder, and we just didn't hold up front like we can and got blocked. It was definitely on line, and one of those things that definitely with all the adversity, our players played well. We just need to come up with 1 or 2 plays against a very, very good team in Azusa Pacific.
Team individually players played well as well. Ryan Bergman's just been a Warriors. He's been playing hurt all year, and he continues to impress with another big ball game with his top receivers as well.
Yeah, Ryan Bergman, first of all, he doesn't practice much ever since the opening of the season just because of some injuries. But he comes up and had a phenomenal game again. I think he leads the GNAC with 7 or 8 400-plus yard games. And then we have 2 receivers over 130 yards. There's Paul again, who's doing a really nice job, and then Tyrell Williams had really good games. And then Daniel Thomas came through with a 91-yard game and a touchdown on a 4th down play. Then I think he gained like 25 yards, 30 yards on that with Bergman buying some extra time. So definitely very pleased with our performance. We had multiple plays that we could have done better. But we felt it was our best team effort to date. They're still getting better, which is exciting to see with such young players. And then, you can't forget about, Craig Akins, right. 10, 12 tackles all over the place, and DT, Mike linebacker, doing a phenomenal job. But also on that, our D-line had a huge challenge with probably, we feel, one of the best offensive lines that are physical, that are big. And then George Schwartzlanger had a phenomenal game. Jeremy Moore had a great game. Michael Klug had a great game. And then our backers are getting better, and A.J. Spencer had a great game also. Our young O-linemen are young. Yeah. We know that. They're not as big as we'd like them because some things that happened with injury-wise with some other kids that really put them in the forefront, and they continue to be very competitive and getting better against one of the best fronts in our conference in the Azusa Pacific. So very pleased, but very disappointed also.
Well, a way to feel better about it is to play a team that you have a pretty intense rivalry with. That's Humboldt State down there. That was a tough loss, maybe the most convincing loss of the year, if you will. But up here, hoping for a different story here and finish out this home part of your schedule on an up note.
Yeah, and you bring up a good point. It was 10-10 at halftime, and then we allowed them to get some field position on us, and really didn't play as well as we'd like the second half, the Humboldt game. But every game except that one, we've been within 1 touchdown, 1 point last game, 4 points at Central Washington. So our players are really continuing to get better, getting better in games late. As you saw with Azusa Pacific, we had those opportunities. We just need to execute more and expect Humboldt to be a very good team. Azusa Pacific and Humboldt are riding on that one loss Division II wise, and they're really fighting for that playoff spot. That's going to be nip and tuck to the very end for the top 6 guys, so the 6 teams. So we know that they'll be very motivated. We know they're a very good team, and we expect a very similar type of game that'll come down to the very end, just like Azusa.
And a team that went winless last year, that injury bug that you guys are suffering this year, they got it big time, but they've got a lot of guys back healthy. Rickadooley's back, and that brings some real issues on both sides of the football that you want to make sure that you address well.
Yeah, facing Azusa, top running back, Watson, and then also Rickadooley is very good. Their freshman is also really good. Also, hasn't played much lately, but we expect to see him. And their O-line probably moves better than any of the O-line we face, except maybe Portland State and maybe Humboldt. Maybe move better than Portland State. It's a tough one for us to tell. But they're a very good coach team. There were quality players throughout, and they're also a very motivated team. And we expect it to be a very, very physical and fast football game.
All right. Well, Coach Arne Ferguson, is always a pleasure to talk to you, and looking forward to this final home game here, ending on a good note, we all hope.
Well, appreciate it, Mark. Thank you.